Let's go. Go.
Just to start real quick, as you brought up the Fyre Festival. So yeah, that meme came from the Fyre Festival. I watched both documentaries. There was one that came out on Netflix and there was one that came out on Hulu. Ooh. I have watched both of them and I am blown away by the Fyre Festival and just the amazingness of all of it.
Did 50 Cent ever fucking meme on Ja Rule's ass when the shit was popping off? He had to, right?
I am so surprised. Well, at least since the documentary has come out, 50 Cent hasn't cracked any jokes.
I'm wondering if he has some participation. He participated.
I don't know what's going on, but it's like out of all the people, like everyone's been making fun of Ja Rule. For some reason, 50 Cent ain't been making fun of Ja Rule. It's the oddest thing.
Ooh.
But
conspiracy theory really quickly. Do you think it's anywhere possible that he might have had, because, you know, we've seen 50 Cent clown on Ja Rule by buying 200 of the front row seats so that, you know what I'm saying, him thinking that no one really gave that much of a fuck about him, which definitely had it been a burn beyond, you know, unmeasurable degrees. Do you think maybe he was one of the investors or one of the benefactors of that Fyre Festival, also again as a spite by throwing him in the mix, being on the forefront? Like, could that be possible? Could that have been? I don't know.
Now, I will say anything's possible, but I think because all that, especially with how bad all that turned out, I think just about all the information and everyone that's been involved on every level has been exposed. Okay. And 50's name hasn't come up, but it is odd that he ain't responded or joked or, you know, used his time to poke at the whatever. Because 50 never. He always finds a reason to make fun of Ja. So,
and sometimes it might be for just something that came into his fucking mind. So the fact that you have this pedestal, this opportunity to shit on somebody, like they say never to kick a person while they're down, but he is that person to kick you while you're down.
He's the main one. But the Fyre Festival, I would recommend everyone check it out. I personally, I like the Netflix one better than the Hulu one, but in the end all be all is basically what went wrong with Fyre Festival. And for those who don't remember, Fyre Festival was this big event where it's like
kind of Coachella like thing.
It was supposed to be Coachella, but it was Coachella for rich people, and it was supposed to be in the Bahamas.
Because you're on an island, fucking A.
Yeah, they were on an island. But essentially, what turned out is that in the end, what went wrong is that normally to set up one of these festivals, you should start like 18 to 24 months in advance to get all this mapped out. They essentially promoted this and tried to put on a festival within 2 months. And they've tried to put on a festival on an island with no infrastructure, not thinking about, okay, where are the toilets? Where are the showers? Like how, like they didn't put
How do you not plan that out though? Like you figure that's
so. What went wrong was that the whole the whole thing was supposed to be like Uber for booking. It was an app that they came out with. And so it was like, okay, we got this app, and through this app, this is how you're going to be able to book artists, because, you know, instead of going through, because as the story goes, the guy Billy had an event coming up. He wanted to book Ja Rule, and so he was looking around. He got a hold of this one guy. I forgot the guy's name, but he got a hold of this guy and was like, "Oh, I heard that you could link me up with Ja Rule, so I can book him for a show." So the dude hit him back.
Who would want to book Ja Rule? Like this just sounds all bad.
No, he's still doing live shows. He's still doing his thing.
No. There's no doubt that he's doing live shows. I understand that. I remember 50 Cent Clown says buying the front rows. But who would want to book Ja Rule? Again, I'm upset. I don't know. It doesn't make sense from the very get-go. Bullshit. I got bullshit on everything.
But no, so Billy was trying to book the Ja Rule, and so he got in a hold of one guy, and the one guy was like, "I can get you Ja Rule, but you need to pay me $500." So Billy paid the guy $500, and then Billy came back 2 days later, and he came with a contact, and then Billy reached out to that contact, and then the contact was like, "Okay, I need $1,000 to book Ja Rule." So then he gave that guy $1,000, and then that dude came back a couple days later to say Ja Rule doesn't like your offer, he's not taking it. So eventually, somehow, Billy and Ja Rule end up communicating with each other, and then they end up becoming good friends or whatever, because he did end up booking Ja. And then that was kind of the joke, was how difficult it was to get a hold of Ja to book him. So then they came up with the brilliant idea of, yo, what if we had an app and you had all these talents that are on this app, and then you can go through the app and you can book them through there. You can figure out how much their going rate is, and then you could, book from their live calendar, so on and so forth. So it was a brilliant idea.
Mhm.
And then to promote the app, they were like, let's come up with this festival. But again, they've tried to set up the festival a couple months in advance when you should be working on this for nearly 2 years to make this go
like
right.
an afterthought is what it was. Everything was,
So it was freestyling that ended up going wrong or whatever. But that meme and with the guy about the sucking dick, how all that came about was everything was going wrong with this event. Everything that could possibly go wrong was going wrong. And they were coming up to the last week or two before the event got ready. And they had something like 175,000 gallons of water coming in to this island. And so Customs was like, y'all didn't pay this 175K or whatever to get this water to the island. So we're holding it in customs. So one of the guys that were helping Billy get all this set up, he was a homosexual male. And so they hit him up and they was like, yo, Billy, they was like, we got a big issue right now. You're our fearless gay leader. We need you to go to this guy's office and we need you to suck his dick to get this water. And so the guy was like, in my 40 years of doing this business and all that and everything I've been doing, event planning and all that, I've never done anything like this. But he was like, I went down to that man's office fully prepared to suck his dick. And he said he got there and the guy was like, all that is not necessary. Y'all just need to pay me my money when you guys get this situated. And so he got the water and he was like, I can't believe I was fully prepared to do that. And so that became the joke out of everything at the end of the Fyre Festival documentary. This man was ready to go down for some water. So, he talk about sacrifices.
Yo, see, ladies are getting upset over fucking not getting a goddamn part. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe not getting a full feature credit. Look, that sucks. But this motherfucker's ready to save lives. He was willing to suck a dick with pride.
Save lives. He was ready to use both hands to save a life. Like, come on, I needs this water.
Supposedly you won't have any better blowjob than that. So I don't know. Those are supposed theories and tricks that motherfuckers used to. But I'm wondering how long it took for them to be like, yo, we gotta get Pole Smoker on the line, because you know what, tough times call for tough measures, and this guy supposedly has taken 2 feet. I don't know if that's possible, but supposedly that's what he's done. We got to get him in there. And so I don't put that past anybody. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then the end all be all with all of it, that dude Billy did end up getting 6 years in jail. And a lot of people were asking why he got in trouble and Ja and everybody else didn't get in trouble. But basically what it came down to, it wasn't that he got in trouble because the festival crashed and burned. He got in trouble because he was lying to investors. It was, he got like millions upon millions of dollars by lying to people. Like he went to one company and was like, yo, you know what? I got Drake, I got Lil Wayne, I got so-and-so. And like, we done booked all these people and it only cost us $1 million to book these people. So if you give me X amount of money, I could do blah, blah, blah. When really he didn't have any of those people that he claimed that he had. And he had actually spent 32 million, not 1 million. There was another scenario where he was like, oh yeah, if y'all could give me X amount of money because, you know, I have this equity because I have all these shares in Facebook and I actually own like, I got like $3.5 million in the bank just off of Facebook shares. And then it turned out he only has $60,000 in the bank from Facebook shares. So he did a lot of lying to get this whole thing situated. And that's the reason why Billy is going to jail. Or went to jail. Yeah.
Yo, it almost seems, it's funny because like this reminds me of the movie. Have you ever seen Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead? This was with Christina Applegate. She was super hella young.
I remember it. I didn't see it.
Because if anything, you probably just remember the title, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And it literally, that movie, especially with all the dialogue and all the references to or inter-office lingo and all this bullshit like cliches, it seriously felt like whoever the fuck wrote the movie just thought it was getting stoned, getting whatever the fuck. It's like, can you imagine what would happen if, kids were, had to take care of themselves because mom was on a business trip and they didn't want to tell her the babysitter was dead. We called it, don't tell mom the babysitter was dead. So off of a stupid fucking premise, they just figured, all right, then we got to fill in all these other details. So it almost seems like that's exactly what happened. He had this idea. He figured, fuck it, I'm going to say it costs this much so I can make this much more. Now understanding that those budgets and those investments go way beyond, what some shit's worth. A lot of times, some things will get done at a cost in order just to have publicity or just to have promotion. So hopefully down the run into the next second or third one that they fucking make it really fucking big because they bought shit in bulk or whatever fucking loopholes. But so it almost feels like each time he had to think of another fucking plateau or branch of the tree to get taken care of to where he's $32 million in the hole off a $1 million fucking loophole.
And the thing that was crazy with the whole Fyre Festival, like watch the documentary again. If y'all have Netflix, y'all got to check it out. And that was kind of the thing. Like he kept digging the hole deeper because it was like, oh, damn, we need a $500,000. Dang, how can we come up with $500,000? Yo, I got an idea. Yo, so we gonna sell cabanas at $100,000 each, and we just need to sell 5 of those, and then we'll be able to make that money. Okay, put that on the website. And then people were like, Billy, we don't have cabanas. Like, what are you keep selling tickets to all we don't have any of this. And so oh my God, it was fascinating. It was fascinating. Good documentary. Check it out.
Fucking A. I was like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Basically.
2017.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't like this podcast, it's probably cause you're racist.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings though.
Yeah. What's up, man? You hear me?